Hey, beautiful people, welcome to Friday and of course the start of a new year as well. My first big live for 2018, and I truly hope that you had an amazing holiday, an amazing breakaway. I don't generally use the word break, actually. I like to say rest or energizing time, simply because I think our words really do start to create our reality. So I'm very, very careful, very specific with the words that I use. And I really hope that you had a beautiful Christmas as well, and some really special time with loved ones, and connecting in perhaps some time with yourself as well, to really connect in and tune in. Hey Diane, great to have you on, darling. So this morning I really wanted to chat about how to ensure to get your goals for 2018. How is it that, we can kind of go through the year and we set these really great intentions or New Year's resolutions or any of those things, and we get to the end of the year and just kind of go, oh, what happened? And life distracts us so quickly, and if we're not careful, we really do get swept up with everyday distractions, with everybody else's wants and needs, and our dreams get left unfulfilled. Now, 12 months, most people kind of feel a bit disappointed and things, but when that happens consistently year on year, 5 or 10 years in a row, that starts to get incredibly painful. And I know that because I lived it for a long time. So this is absolutely imperative in terms of being able to ensure that you can get your goals and be really super clear. Number one, take some time out to get clear on what is most important. I read a great analogy the other day, and it was basically if you had 5 different balls that you could juggle, and one ball was worth $1,000, another 3 of those balls was worth $100 each, and the rest were worth $1 each. How many balls would you be attempting to juggle, or would you just literally hold the one worth $1,000 in your hand? So obviously makes sense. The more that we put on our plate, or the more that we're trying to juggle, the more chance there is that we're going to drop one of those balls, or things are going to fall off track. So get really super clear. What is 100% absolutely most important to you this year? What do you value the most? What would absolutely make the biggest positive impact on your life if that was all that you achieved this particular year? Obviously there's going to be the day-to-day things and everything else, so there's going to be a lot more than that, but what is most important? What is the one thing that if you had to decide? And I wrote a post on this yesterday because I think it's hard to make decisions on stuff like this, and our ego mind doesn't want to, because it's like when we decide and commit and say this is what I want, then all this fear comes up. And that's obviously resonating as well for you, Diane. And it's a big one for all of us, because as adults, we don't want to get this stuff wrong. As kids, we don't want to get this stuff wrong. So this can be really tricky. It's like, well, what if I do fully commit? What if I do fully decide and it wasn't the right choice for me? And so a lot of people don't actually end up deciding. And what happens is everybody else's life then impacts on theirs, because they're just allowing themselves to be moved sideways or to go where everybody else is going, instead of them having a clear path, having a clear vision for themselves, and really knowing what matters most to them. And this is why I talk so much about tuning in and listening to your heart and your soul, because I truly do believe we do have those answers deep down inside our heart and our soul. And when we're allowing ourselves, giving ourselves the gift of time, and in fact I gave myself 3 days to do this, so it's incredible having that space and time to really get clear. And imagine if you were just, hey Kevin, great to have you on. Hey Linda, if you were just one person living on an island by yourself, and sometimes we've got to take, I know that we've all got families, or we've got commitments, we've got work, we've got all those different things, but if we put all that aside just temporarily to allow ourselves to get clear, well, if there was just me to consider, what is it that I would fully want? What would light my heart and soul up so much that it would make such a positive impact in my life? When you're clear on that, and then you can bring in other people, and you can bring in all the other things. Now, if there's a big conflict there in your environment, and when I say a big conflict, this is when if other people aren't supporting you in that particular goal, this is really tough, and it's a tough space to be in, and I know what that's like. I lived in that space for about 14 years, so it really can be hard when we're in that and we're wanting to create changes and we're wanting to do different things, and being able to push through to create a different environment for ourselves to ensure that we have the adequate support, because our ego minds, hey Sean, great to have you on. Thanks Linda, that's so beautiful. Happy New Year to you too, Hannah. Sorry, getting mixed up with my words. And so one of the biggest things is our survival mind wants to belong, it wants to fit in, it doesn't want to create conflict, because conflict to the ego mind or the survival mind means I'm threatened, I'm getting kicked out of the tribe, I'm not going to belong, I'm not going to fit in. But quite often when we're making changes in our lives, this will put everybody else's ego mind or survival mind on high alert as well, because it's like, oh, well, if they're making these changes, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for us? And the ego mind, survival mind, doesn't actually like change at all. So this is where, taking everybody out of the mix to begin with, to get super clear, super focused, have absolute clarity, where is it you want to go? And in one of Neil Donald Walsh's books, he speaks a lot about most people make their decision of who's coming with me and where are we going, as opposed to where am I going and who's coming with me. And this is where, again, we can get sidetracked so quickly with everybody else's wants and needs and end up feeling disappointed and feeling really unfulfilled if you're not living a life that is really true to who you are and what's most important for you. So that's the step one, is getting super, super, super clear. Number two, we have to get our goals in front of us every single day. If you are thinking about, oh yeah, that would be really great to achieve this year, and you don't look at that again until December 2018, I can ensure that you will not have followed through. You will have not gotten clear on what's most important to you, and you won't have shown up for yourself, because number three is showing up for ourselves. So when we have our goals so clear and they're so in front of ourselves, every single day we can see them. I have my passion planner, I have my goals in about 3 or 4 different places, so that when I'm actually moving around my house, I'm constantly in my face. It's like, oh yep, there's that thing, there's that thing, there's that thing, and visualizing constantly. And when I say constantly, I take about 15 minutes daily to visualize what that's actually like, as if I had already experienced it, as if I was already living it now. And these are the processes, seriously, that I took myself through to change my life, to go from $300 a week to creating my 6-figure income, and really being able to travel to lots of great places and be the type of mum that I wanted to be for my kids, attract the type of partner that I wanted, and to really live life at a huge level. And so this is where doing the daily work, getting the clear focus and having it front of mind, what do I want, and writing or journaling on that every single day, or at least, sorry, the cockies are super loud, at least writing that down and having that front of mind every single day, and then writing down what are my 5 top moves for actually creating that or doing that particular thing. And within that as well, I also love to get super clear on my why, because if you don't have a strong internal sense of why, hey Glenda, great to have you on, hun. If you don't have a strong internal sense of why this is super, super important to you, it just won't, you will not show up for yourself. And this needs to be an internal sense of why it's good for you, why it's good for others, why it's good for the world. And if you can't tick those 3 things off, maybe reevaluate what you're actually going for as well. Because if you don't feel so compelled internally to show up, then of course it's going to be pushed aside. So this is where exercise, and Glenda's a superstar in this area, this is where exercise, when we have such a strong internal need of, oh my God, this is going to change my life, it's going to give me so much energy, I'm going to feel so amazing about myself, it's going to inspire and help others, and it's making a difference to the world because it's not contributing to obesity, in fact it's inspiring people to take really great care of their health and their well-being and live a happy and healthy life. When we have such a strong internal sense, we will step through, we will show up for ourselves. Hey Loretta, great to have you on. So this is so key and so important for really ensuring that your goals are happening, that you are getting out there, that you are showing up and stepping through. Number 4 is your planner. So if you don't have a schedule or you have not locked that in, then this is super, super important. So, and I know everything that I'm saying is basic common sense 101, getting you goals, but seriously, if you're not following through with this stuff, it will drop off the radar. And we can only get so far with willpower when we're tapped into our tuning into our heart and our soul every single day. Then absolutely, and we're clear on what we want and why we want it and why it's important and why we're going to show up, why we need to bring our A game, then we start to really develop a very, very strong consistency in showing up and making sure that we're following through and we're getting to what we actually want to. And I can tell you, by December 2018, you are going to be living such a different life. If you just did that, rinse on repeat every single day, and really got clear on all of those things and implemented that, I can promise you, you will live a very, very different year this year to perhaps previous years if you felt like you've fallen off the wagon or you haven't followed through. So get your goals in front of you every single day. Know what you want, why you want it, and get super, super clear on why you must show up for you. And this is where I truly believe self-confidence, self-belief, and even greater things then start to come to the forefront. So life starts to get really exciting when we show up for ourselves, when we start to believe in ourselves at a different level because of our level of commitment, because we are so focused and we're so clear. Then it starts to build real confidence deep down inside. And this is where I literally took myself from, running 2 kilometers to running 5 kilometers to running 10 to running 22 to ending up doing another 5 triathlons. So triathlons were never in my realm of wanting to, that was not my goal when I first started. And yet it built out to that because it was just like, oh, well, what else is possible? And so when we start to show up, when we start to commit, then that's where the bigger goals can really start to come in. And perhaps if you've had something in the back of your mind where it's like, wow, gosh, if I could do that in my lifetime, that would be super cool, then start showing up for yourself with the little stuff. We all have a trust bank account, and we're either depositing money or depositing into that trust bank account every single day, or we're withdrawing from that trust bank account. So this is true for ourselves, and this is true for our other relationships. Hey Trish, great to have you on. So if we are not depositing regularly into that trust bank account, you won't trust yourself. I can promise you. And I've been there where I haven't shown up for myself, and it is painful because what it does is it erodes that self-belief and that self-trust. It's like saying to a friend, hey, I'll meet you for coffee, and they don't show up. And you say, a second time, hey, I'll meet you for coffee, and they don't show up. Pretty soon you start to resent and get angry at that friend. Obviously, if nothing major's happened, but it's seriously, it really does undermine our level of self-trust and self-belief. So if there is one thing to take away from this, it is literally show up for you. If you make a promise to you, if you make a commitment, if you decide and you commit, then showing up for you is the one best thing that you can ever do for your self-esteem, for your confidence, and for your self-belief, and for creating a life that you love. So hope that's been super helpful. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I really look forward to speaking to you guys soon. If you are looking for accountability, if you are looking for somebody to help keep you so focused and so on track, I have the best, most amazing program, which I am so excited. Thanks so much, Linda. I am so excited to be unleashing, and it is my 12-month Inner Circle Mastermind, and it is where I will be taking you through live weekly trainings where we get so clear and so specific on 12 key life areas, and I literally help you develop the mindset, develop the clarity, and then develop the accountability and the necessity. Hey Diane, thanks so much, hun, to show up for you. So if this is something that you feel really resonates with you as well, I'll definitely pop the link in. We kick off on the 15th of January. This is absolutely 100% free for all of my current and I was going to say current existing coaching clients, and for anybody else that wants to sign up with me in January. But to anybody else, this is such a low cost entry. If you've been thinking about working perhaps with a life coach, or you know that you need somebody to help keep you on track, and you really want to do some deep inner mindset work, because that's where the whole game changes, then definitely reach out to me, PM me. We can have a quick chat, see whether it's the right fit for you, and get you in there as well. But I'll pop the link in so you can check it out and have a look. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys, and looking forward to hearing all about your goals, what's most important to you, and we can go from there. Bye.